A good day to all of you. Today, we will be working on the 44th creation in our lesson series. First, click on the plus mark at the top of the screen and open a new tab. Next, type thunkable.com in the address bar and click the enter button. Now you have entered the Thunkable website. Click the login button at the top corner and log into your Thunkable account. Now again, click on the plus mark at the top corner of the screen, open another tab and visit the dpcode.lk website. Click on lesson number 282. Click the Start Project button here. Now you have entered the project. In the previous lesson, we designed the daybook. Today, we are going to create the second part of this daybook. I have now finished adding the first part of the daybook we created in the last lesson to the design. If anyone hasn't watched that lesson, check out the design using the thunkable.com website now. From here on, let's add the code to that design. See, we designed the screen entry and the screen data as required in the previous lesson. Now let's see what needs to be done in the code of this app. We use the daybook to note down special days and times. You can input a date and a time using the date input and the time input. Also, in this text input, we need to mention the reason why this date or time is special. Now, the date, time and the reason given in the text input will be entered in this daybook spreadsheet, which will be added as the data source. The special days and the reasons that we have added to this Google Sheet in this way will be displayed in the data viewer list in the screen data. This way, we can enter as many special days as we want in the daybook. So let's create the code. First, I will click on the screen energy and go to the blocks tab. First, when the screen entry opens, let's enter the date in the date input into label date and the time input into label time. So far, we created and hid label date and label time. Now let's give the date and time in these two hidden labels. I will click screen entry and let's drag a when screen entry opens code block here. Now let's drag a set label dates text to code block from label date into the when screen entry opens code block. Now let's connect a call date input once get date code block under date input 1. Next, in the same way, let's drag a set label times text to code block under label time below the set label dates text to code block. Now let's connect a call time input once get date code block under time input 1 here. Okay, now the date and time we give has been given in label date and label time, but these two labels will not display on the screen. Next, you can type a note about the given date or time in text input 1. As soon as we type the note in this text input, we will make the submit button visible. Click on text input 1 and drag a when text input 1 changes code block. Let's drag a set button submit visible to code block under button submit into this code block. Click on this arrow and give true. Next, after you click the button submit, you need to create a record in the daybook spreadsheet. For this, drag the when button submit click code block under the button submit below the when text input 1 changes code block. Drag the create row in the daybook spreadsheet code block under data sources into the when button submit click code block. The 3 column names in the Google Sheet that we added will be displayed in this code block like this. We need to connect the value we need to give each column in front of the column name. The date is now in the label date as text. So let's click the label date and link a label date's text code block here. Next, the time is there as text in the label time. I'm going to click the label time here and click a link label times text to code block. Next, the time is there as a text in the label time. I'm going to click label time here and link a label times text code block. Next, we have the note. We can connect a text input 1's text code block under text input 1 for this. Okay, now when 3 seconds have passed, let's prepare the code in a way that the screen will be set up as it was and screen data will be displayed automatically. That means at this point, the text in the text input 1 is removed and the button submit will be hidden again. I will drag a wait 1 second code block under control into the Do section of create row in code block. Let's change the number of seconds here to 3. Again, click button submit and drag a set text input once text to code block here. Next, let's drag a set button submit visible to code block under button submit to this place. Now click on this arrow and give it as visible false. Next, since the screen data needs to be displayed, drag the navigate to screen entry code block from control below the set button submits visible to code block and here give screen data. Okay, now we have finished creating the code for screen entry. Now let's go into the screen data. When the screen data is loaded, the data in the Google Sheet needs to be displayed in the data viewer list. Since this Google Sheet is updated regularly, let's refresh the data viewer list at this time. Otherwise, updated data may not be displayed here. I will click on screen data and drag when screen data opens code block. Let's drag a call data viewer list once refresh data code block from under data viewer list 1 into the when screen data opens into the code block. Okay, finally when we click the button back, screen entry needs to be displayed again. For this, drag the when button back click code block under button back like this. Let's drag a navigate to screen entry code block in the control into this code block. Okay, now we completed the daybook app creation. Click on the screen entry again and let's test this app live. Okay, first, the screen entry is displayed like this. Let's click on this date input and give a date. I will select March 5th. 2023 like this. Next, you can input a time through the time input. I will select 10 p.m. Now we can mention the speciality of the date we have given as a note here. I will type Sashi's birthday here. You can see that as soon as I type this note, the button submit became visible. Now let's click the submit button. Now the screen data is displayed like this. The dates and the notes we have entered are displayed in this data viewer list. We can click the back to entry button again and add more records. If you manage to do this, you little ones are very talented. WhatsApp your design to me on the phone number Note 7681252244. Tell your friends also about the design. Check out this app to send me as well as to your friends. And one more thing. Join our DP Coding Club Telegram group. Try to be the DP Code Champ Best of the Week once every week. Stay connected with us. Also, another thing. Join our DP Coding Club and now you can start a DP Coding Club in your school as well. We are ready to give you all the guidance for that. If you're interested in starting a DP Coding Club in any school that has computer labs, please send a request to the principal to the email address info@dpcc.lk. Okay, let's meet with another interesting lesson through DP Coding School. Have a nice day.